This is Margaret Ann Windsor. Peggy Ann Childers, the name they gave me when they kidnapped me from Buckingham Palace and brought me to Moulton, Alabama, giving me the name of a dead twin. This is mind control shootings that I have written about in patterns, and I wrote about long before this happened at Fort Hood. He's was a psychiatrist, and the shooter at Fort Hood, or he's programmed to shoot. He lived next here in Roanoke. Actually, was born and went to college at Virginia Tech, where the Virginia Tech shootings happened. This is Aurora, Colorado, Grand 16 Theater. This is a man being given psychotic drugs, Holmes. It's mind control. It has nothing to do with mental illness. So you're using the mental illness scam, and man, what a scam. Now then, I could go on and on, and it would just sound a bit rambling, because right at the moment I'm not feeling too great. And it's lasted for so long. Well, this ongoing investigation they have ever be over, and quit making people look like they're nuts when nuts has nothing to do with it. I will say this as kind of a background. McVeigh told that he had a chip put up him by the Army. He did. The Oklahoma City bombings, and that can be proven. Here you got William, that everybody adores, who's illegal, implantable biochips. And Project Lucid is another name for the New World Order that his parents are all involved in and help head up. That being said, this is the double that married Wallace Simpson. My father was married to Georgia O'Keeffe's sister, Claudia Ruth O'Keeffe, legally. So if they can do all that and take down my dad and then kidnap me and do all this stuff in between, what powers do they have now? I want to say the last years when I was marooned up here in Roanoke, October the 20th of '86, jobs shut down, everything shut down. I couldn't get a place to live. I couldn't get food most of the time, nothing. The law didn't work for me. When I did get a place, and I'm going to quote this so that you can get the gist of it, I had worked for doctors and done the book and had pretty good skills, accounting skills. Typing was excellent. Even worked for the district attorney, Fred Simpson, in Huntsville in '80. When I got a few bucks for doing a live-in, it was winter, or it was in November, at Budget Inn here on Plantation Road and Williamson Road, owned by the Patels. And by the way, have they ever flourished? They own everything around here, communication centers out of Charlotte, North Carolina, you name it, far-reaching. I had paid the money I'd saved to move in, stayed for 3 or 4 days maybe. It was nice enough. The owner, Patel, comes, knocks at the door, and says they're going to be painting and all this. And I had told him that I'm deathly allergic to some chemicals. I just get close to them, they can swell me up, shut my ears like right at the moment's happen, and you go catapulting into the floor. It can cause all kinds of problems for people. Industrial, it causes your immune system to attack itself. So I begged him not to come in. Well, he was going to come in anyway. You think you can call the cops on this? Try it. You're going to wake up and find out that the cops aren't there for you either. So where do you go? I called the cops. Cop came out, standing there in front of Patel, and said, well, we'll lock you up. And I thought, for God's sake, why? He says, you can either leave or we'll lock you up. I just paid my rent. I'd done nothing other than object to chemicals being used in the winter. You're going to come in and suddenly start painting. Um, I remember Patel said to me, "We're Americans now. We have to do what they tell us to do." Well, hey, everybody had an option in that, in all of this. You know what they chose? To screw me over, because who's going to do anything? It doesn't matter who I am. That's a joke, or what they do to me. So that's been an ongoing thing, chasing me to the national forest, making me look like a fool up and down the side of the road, hot, cold, you name it. Everybody watching. And you know what they would say? Well, the cops told us not to get involved and not help you. And I'm going to go ahead and a lady who was a friend of mine years ago when I did the book and is pretty savvy on all this. I'm not going to mention her name because she's afraid to get in trouble or something will happen to her. Uh, Lovett or Lovell was the name of a garage and service station that was pretty good business here in Delville, outside Roanoke. So Virginia State Troopers used to go in there. The cars were all over the place, getting fixed and maintained. His wife, Mr. Lovett, saying that because it's a mind control murder that was done with Yen Zorings, and he went to Lovett or Lovell School, private school in Atlanta when I was there in '83 in the campaign. And he's a German diplomat's son, and he's in Buckingham State Prison now, Virginia, for the murder of uh, Derek and Nancy Haysom in Bedford, Virginia, next door. He and his girlfriend, who was the daughter of the Haysons. She's in Goochland, Elizabeth Haysom is, and these are mind control murders. Anyway, he went to that school. It's Lovett or Lovell, and the gas station's owner's wife was in there that day years ago, and she handed me a donut and a cup of coffee. And I'm cold and freezing, no food, going back to a camp that you freeze to death and starve, and people all around, and not a one will help. Um, she said to me, she said, "Well, the people around here all know what's been done to you and what's being done." She says they're afraid to get involved and they're not going to help you. And it's the last time I saw her, and she was absolutely correct. Through the last years, I'm going to stop because this whole thing about programming people and serial killers and coming out of the woodwork and all this is mass mind control. And that's where it's gotten into with the takedown of Africa, which was the United Kingdom colonies and other colonies there that are now controlled by the UN through the United States is the ones that controls it with Israeli troops, like in Kenya and the Westgate. You program people and then you run in like you're helping, and who's to prove it? Uh, anyway, everywhere I've lived or gone here, in come the fumes and the industrial, and you can use your. They said in the lady that they killed the other day in D.C. that ran into the bumpers and things there at the White House that stopped them. They said she was mentally ill. Well, she was programmed. Um, So I guess before I sound scattered again with what's going on with me here, they said her car was a weapon. Well, mind control is a weapon. Also, an air conditioning unit, a simple air conditioning unit, can be used as a weapon when it exudes fumes and when the maintenance is a part of it, and then they just say you're nuts. Well, you go to the doctor, and he says you got to get away from it. That's if they don't stop it, because it's the fumes that kill me. I'm going to list. I went to Edinburgh Village Retirement, same thing. '06. Unreal how much hell can be caused. Then the next one, these are Section 8 housing, and the woman who was over it is very prominent here. HUD, Section 8, federally funded. So you got federal input. The next was at Richfield, which was nice enough, really. It kill me to have to leave for my own health. With people knowing this by RN, what was her name? Marion. Now then, the next one was Sizer, Ron Sizer out in Travel. Little cottage, should have been halfway nice. He had installed his own. Now I'm going to have to quit it. This is not going to upload. He had redone his little cottage behind his huge, if you want to call it a state, yeah, out in Travel. His home, and he had Jags, two brand new Jags there from '73, parked in the garage, et cetera, et cetera. That man made my life a living hell. He would come in my place. He put um, starter, barbecue starter, underneath the vent so it would, in the basement. This is coming in my place, which is illegal, supposed to be trespassing. The fumes come up out through the house. And he did all kinds of stuff. It was illegal what he did. He didn't have the right to a building. He wasn't with building code. So I had gases that would make me pass out. And there's been reports made on it. So you see where I'm going. You can make a human being's life a living hell, and nobody will do a thing about it when the law is involved and the people condone it. You're made to look like a nut, and really that's not true. I've always, as I've got right in here, the proof, a part of it. I'm going to end though with the last one I was at in Bedford, right next to the War Memorial. Now, I'm Margaret Ann Windsor, Victoria II. They've done all this to me. They got me living in Section 8 and glad to get it. Black man Washington Moore, out of Washington, North Carolina, owns a whole bunch of these federally funded Section 8 retirement. Okay, they just built this one. And when I look out my back window, I'm facing the War Memorial, which has got the British flag up there, Friends of the United States. They got the monarchs looking up at it out of a Section 8. Glad to get the Section 8. God knows the 7 months that I spent there, you should see what they did to me. Now then, prior to my leaving, they got a maintenance guy that was a retired SEAL, Navy SEAL. They made a big issue out of his credentials and all this, put out a bulletin while they were slaughtering me. Now, this is America, and if you think for 1 minute that I don't want the law to work for me, you, maintenance, whoever, it doesn't matter. You broke the law. You have tortured me, and I hope if it takes God to do it, and it would, I don't forgive you. You meant to do it. I've lived it. It's been a joke that you could do it to me.